Hey YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, whoever's watching this video, shout out to you guys. I'm RicoKnows. What's up? So I stopped doing videos like this on TikTok a while ago, but I'll do it on YouTube just for shits and giggles, and it's a lot easier for me to do it on YouTube just because of the format. But the new AP poll came out for week 4, college football, and you guys see it here, the top 25. They have number 1, Texas. Makes sense, right? They're really good. Number 2 is Georgia, 3, Ohio State. I'm looking at it. I really don't have an issue. I just want to tell whoever's voting, you should be voting based on results from this season, not preseason polls, not the hype, not what you hope teams look like or anything like that, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, USC at 11 is disrespectful. USC at 11 is out of control. They just shut out Utah State 45-0, and you have them ranked right next to Utah, who was giving up an insane amount of points to that team. That's crazy. Those teams are not equivalent. USC has an offense. Utah doesn't. USC has an amazing defense. Utah does as well. But USC is a top 10 team. There's no way Oregon should be in the top 10. Nothing they've done warrants putting them in the top 10 outside of being a brand and you think the players are good. They haven't put it together. I think they've been reading their own press clippings the whole time. I'm not cool with this list at all. Right? This rankings list is kind of trash for me. I see some teams in here that are in here just by brand and name. It's really confusing to me. Notre Dame is still ranked ahead of NIU, but NIU beat them head-to-head. Doesn't make any sense. What are you basing this off of? Because they beat Purdue? At some point, head-to-head matchups have to count. We can't just go around saying we're going to rank teams. And what you see, teams like A&M get back in the rankings. A&M. Do we not have more undefeated teams? Why are we putting teams in here with 1 loss? Top 25, bro. We don't need to go grab A&M. What'd they do that impressed you? They beat Florida on the road. That impressed you enough to put them back in the rankings? Where's Memphis? Where's Indiana? I need to know why you guys don't respect the results of football games. Shout out to the AP poll. Complete trash. Here's my top 25. My top 25 is Texas. I had them at number 1 last week. I still think they're the greatest team in the land. I told you guys this. I'm convinced Texas is the best football team in America. They're number 1 right now. Number 2, Ohio State, moved them up. Georgia had an appalling showing, and I'm dropping Georgia all the way down to 4th. Yes, Georgia ran into a buzzsaw of a defense. Shout out to Kentucky. When I told you guys they were the 11th best team in the country or their defense is talented and all this stuff, it was because I was evaluating talent. Now, I'm not evaluating the coaching staff, the decisions they make on a Saturday, or any of the execution or lack thereof by the offense, but I can just tell you that Georgia ran into a defense that they couldn't walk over, and they had to fight for every yard. That's what's going to happen sometimes when you play these elite teams. I think the teams ahead of them have bona fide offenses that I can believe in that are going to go out there and put up points. And I think Georgia loses in a race with any one of those teams up front out of sheer numbers. Now, if Mikael Williams comes back and they get back a bunch of players from injury, then more power to them, but I'm right there. Now, number 5 for me is Miami. The disrespect to Miami needs to stop. Miami's been a top 10 team the whole time. I've told you this. They were number 7 in my preseason poll, and they're showing out, proving out. They're incredibly talented. Stop telling me the ACC doesn't have good teams. Stop telling me the ACC isn't talented. Miami is elite. Every conference has an elite team or 2, and in this case, the ACC has Miami. They're great. 6 is USC. That defense looks way different. That defense looks amazing. Those receivers look professional. And Miller Moss is going to find it everywhere. And you just can't forget that Lincoln Riley is an offensive mastermind. USC is going to score points, and they're not going to be in a lot of shootouts. They're shutting people down. It's beautiful. Number 7, Alabama. I still don't believe in their corners. They're finding ways to win. Shout out to Jalen Milroe and that coaching staff. Number 8, Tennessee. I think they're a little too hyped up. A little too much hype. Yeah, you beat the hell out of Kent State. Everybody does. Kent State is terrible. They just lost to an FCS team the week before. I'm not impressed with 70 points against Kent State. What I'll be impressed with is if you keep this thing going. You keep this thing going, I'll keep moving you up. But it's tough to pass the guys in front of you. It really is. Eyeball test. Tennessee's defense is the leader of this team. I don't trust a freshman quarterback ahead of the guys ahead. You know, the guys above. So you're where you're at. Missouri's offense need to get it together. Figure it out. They had a tough task beating an undefeated Boston College team. But what's crazy is Boston College loses to Missouri, and now they're not ranked anymore. I don't have them ranked. You know why? I don't like ranking teams with losses. That's number 1. There's a few here that I'll put on the chart because of destruction of other teams. But for the most part, I don't like teams with losses. So to see Boston College fall out of the top 25, I thought was funny. Shout out to the AP. But I have to do it because I value teams that win in 2024. Shout out to Missouri. They impressed me. if they get it all together. Speaking of a team getting it all together, Penn State, Oklahoma, defense, and more defense. They look great on tape. Iowa State at 12. Nobody else has them at 12. I do. I love Iowa State's defense. They don't have a good running back room. Abu Sama's not the answer. They got a great quarterback, great receivers, good coaching. Their defense is where it's at. I like Iowa State a lot. And they beat Iowa. That's a really good win. I'll take it. Oklahoma State at 13. Senior Latin. Love them. I don't care. Yep. Oh, Rico, they have a bunch of yards to Arkansas. Yeah, they still beat them. Found a way to win. Winning culture. Got a coach in Gundy. You're not going to have a coaching advantage over Oklahoma State every single week. It's just not going to happen. They got a really good coaching staff. Clemson. There's a team with a loss, and it was to Georgia. But after that, they've looked great. I think Clemson's talent is real. I think it's a quality team. I really do. I don't like Kay Klubnik. I don't. But they're a good team. They have really talented defensive linemen. They look the part to me. I like Clemson at 14. 15, K-State. Dominated Arizona, and what I saw in that game was coaching staff makes a difference. You bring in these San Jose State coaches to Arizona, and now Arizona looks like a Mountain West team. And on the flip side, K-State, Chris Kleiman's always going to get the most out of his team, so I'm impressed with K-State. Louisville, they're going to score. They're going to be competitive. I got to put them there. 17 is Memphis. Memphis ain't new to me, bro. I've been talking about Memphis beating Florida State since January. Go find it. It's in 4K. It's on my channel. It's on the live tab. Go find all the old podcasts. Go find the futures videos, the futures bets, and everything I'm talking about. I'm telling you, Memphis was my group of 5 team. When I did my rankings, they were my top team. It's nothing new. And the only thing that bothers me about it is I've been on Seth Hennigan for like 3 years now. Rock Taylor, Demir Blumpkinsey, Mario Anderson transferring in. I'm even on Cam Sutton. Unfortunately, he's injured. I've liked everything Memphis has been doing. And the only thing that bothers me is when mainstream media, those guys on TV, pretend like they know Memphis. And they start talking about the players, and they try to talk about them intelligently. They don't have a clue what they're talking about. They don't know the team, but they all pretend like they saw this coming. Memphis is great. Don't get it twisted. They're great. And I've been on them for at least 2 years. If you follow the channel, shout out to me. Next, I have Notre Dame. Usually don't rank teams with losses, like I said, but Notre Dame went out there and destroyed Purdue. Had a statement. Impressed the hell out of me. I'm not a Notre Dame guy. I am a Notre Dame doubter. I'm a realist when it comes to Notre Dame. I don't think they're exceptional, but my goodness, they look great. And there you have it. Nebraska, still undefeated, looking good. Probably going to be 7-0 at some point when they play Ohio State, 6 or 7-0, something like that. Indiana at number 20. Stop hating on Indiana. Absolutely dismantled UCLA last night. And for me, in the offseason, there's a video. It's pinned, or there's a video. If you can go to YouTube, you can go check my college football futures videos. You can go search Indiana on the Patreon if you're an MVP. Go watch my video on Indiana win totals. I am begging and pleading for people to sell their car. I'm pleading with them to literally sell their car. You know what? I don't want to do this without proving it, because I know I'm recording right now and we're not going to start the video over, but I'm going to do something pretty cool, and it's a really easy clip for you guys. I need to tell you how great Indiana is. Indiana's win total before the season was 5.5, and I screamed out that we need to start betting on Indiana. If you go to the Patreon server, an MVP actually talked about it in July. He said, Rico, Indiana, this is shout out to Armin, he's an annual MVP member, by the way. He said Indiana's over 5.5 is now minus 135. Back when it was 125 and I was screaming, take it. Take the 125. We took it. All the MVPs who are, if you're an MVP in the offseason, they took it. And they said, man, it's over here. But it's because of this video I made, and I'll show it to you. Hey, MVPs, RicoKnows here. Going to talk to you guys about a futures bet. You guys know the deal. I just love everything about Indiana this offseason. And Curtis Rourke. All right, Rico. Ohio quarterback, 6'5", 231, final year of eligibility. You saw the numbers there. He ranks, they got all the receivers. Bye week, 2 weeks to prepare for Nebraska, 7-0. And they might beat Washington. Washington lost their coach, lost most of their talent. They might beat Washington. They might even be 8-0. They're beating Michigan State, 9-0. Losing to Michigan, losing to Ohio State. I got them winning 9 to 10 games. I sound crazy. I think Indiana's winning 9 to 10 games, 8 to 9 games at worst. Nobody listens to me. Nobody hears me. It's the off season. I know transfer portal players. I know what they've brought in. I know what they have. Indiana's winning 8 or more games. So when I go to Vegas and I see a 5.5, I lose my flipping mind. I've been talking for 23 minutes because your money matters, bro. Your money effing matters. Indiana's, and it's plus money. It's plus 128. Sell your car. Go, bro. But man, whatever your unit size is, times that damn thing by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Indiana, bro. Go look at it. Go pay attention to the teams they're playing against. Indiana's winning more than 5 games. They're winning 6 games or more. All they got to do is win 6. Maybe you don't believe in 8. Maybe you don't believe in 9 or 10. But, bro, 6. 6 games. Kurt Signetti, Indiana, loaded. There's not a weak position anywhere. Not one position I look at and I go, man, they suck. They got to work on their secondary a little bit. They got 2 safeties with 100 tackles each. I don't know what to tell you guys. Indiana. Your friends don't know. But Rico knows. And that's what we talk about when the MVPs say, you got to read Rico's enthusiasm about certain teams. You got to listen to him when he's talking about certain bets. He'll tell you things, but when he starts screaming that Vegas got it wrong, I'm pleading with you. Make your money. And that video was recorded in like May, maybe even earlier. It's remarkable that I could be screaming at the top of my lungs about Indiana, and here they are undefeated, and people are acting like they had no clue, like they didn't know. But if you studied that roster with everything in your soul, you knew Indiana was going to be great. You just looked at the players and you just go, wait, those guys are all on the same team with this amazing coach against these players? I got to take it. So when, like this weekend, Vegas told me Indiana was a 2.5-point favorite over UCLA. Guys, it was a lock. It was a lock for the MVPs. I immediately put it on the chart. I said, take it money line, take the spread. I don't care. Indiana's beating UCLA. Vegas doesn't know what they're talking about. And they're going to catch on and eventually start fixing the spreads, moving forward and all this shit. And voters will wake up one day and start voting for Indiana. Guys, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know the players. I know the players. I talk to them. Indiana's a top 25 team, and they're going to be there. And they're going to be undefeated for a while. They're going to beat Northwestern. Come on now. Watch. Watch Indiana. And you guys are going to be like, man, Rico's been talking about this shit for a year. Illinois, undefeated and impressing the hell out of me. Here they are. They're at 21. Pittsburgh, I got to rank them. They just find ways to win. They found another way to win. Oh, by the way, if you want to go watch that futures bet video on Patreon, if you search Pittsburgh, you can find it on YouTube. If you look the futures playlist, go to the videos, find the right playlist, go to futures bets or win totals, and find the Pittsburgh video. And I'm telling you that they're going to win over 6 games. Vegas had it wrong again. I'm like, well, Pat Narduzzi gets it done, guys. I understand they lost a lot of talent in the transfer portal. I know they got rated, but Pat Narduzzi has a winning formula. And then he goes out and get Eli Holstein, a guy that I told everyone should be the starting quarterback at Alabama when they were arguing over, is it going to be Simpson or Buckner or Jalen Milroe? I'm like, well, guys, there's a freshman on this team right now that when I watch tape, he looks like a starting quarterback to me. There's a freshman at Alabama that looks like a starting quarterback to me when I watch his tape. Yep. And it was Eli Holstein. That's what I was talking about. I made the video 2 years ago. And now he's the starting quarterback at Pittsburgh, and he's winning games. And he's a gamer. And he's a baller. And I'm sitting over here going, guys, I try to tell you, I evaluate talent. This is what I do for a living. Rico, are you going to join a coaching staff? No. I don't want to join any college coaching staff. I'm better than those guys. There are college coaches sitting out there right now. They don't know how to evaluate the talent on their own roster. They got better players on benches that they're not using. I don't trust the media. The media doesn't know how to evaluate talent either. The AP people, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're ranking these teams based on what? The eye test? Their fandom? Motherfucker be, oh, you know what? This is number 1. Why? Oh, that's my alma mater. I'm telling you, there's a dude who ranked Colorado top 25, gave him a vote 2 weeks ago. The hell was he doing? Do you not watch all 134 FBS teams? Then maybe you don't know the top 25. You only watch the ones on TV? You're brainwashed subconsciously by ESPN when they try to convince you these are all the top teams. A&M's now magically ranked in the AP top 25 because they beat Florida. Florida's a 4-win team, bro. That's not a quality win. That's not a quality win. You got a team starting a true freshman quarterback out of desperation, letting the kid get reps. They're firing their coach soon. That's not a top 25. That's not something to get excited about. Undefeated teams. Let's go. Washington State just beat Washington. Can't get ranked? Are you shitting me, bro? Washington State, John Matera, the dual threat quarterback. Are you guys not staying up past 9 p.m. Eastern? Oregon, I put them in my top 25. Finally, first time this year. Because of their performance against Oregon State. I didn't put them in my top 25 because of preseason polls. I don't give a shit what you think of their players, how they hype them up and rank them. None of that matters to me. Results matter. They're undefeated. They found a way to win. They looked a little dominant, so now they're in the top 25. North Carolina, no quarterback, still winning, obviously beating HBCU, no big deal. But I promise you, North Carolina is going to win a lot of games this year without a quarterback. Look at their schedule. They're going to win a lot of games. North Carolina's talented. This is my top 25. You can't argue it with me. I don't give a shit about some of these other teams. They don't move me like that. This is what I'm ranking. No way you get into the top 25. You beat Florida. That's crazy, bro. That's a terrible team. When Miami beat Florida, it didn't impress me. I was already high on Miami. Please. You want to learn about the teams. You want to learn what to bet on, what to follow, what to do. Get to the channel. You guys know the deal. Follow the links in the description. Get to the Patreon. Become an MVP. Just watch the free shit, bro. Just get educated. Stop watching sports on TV. A bunch of dudes reading teleprompters don't know shit about sports. Got a dude in their ear feeding them stats. The guy in their ear, although he's not a TV personality, I got more respect for him. The statistician in the background, I got more respect for him. If you're as old school as me, guys, I've been doing this over 20 years. I used to be an Agate text clerk. If you don't know what that is, Agate text is the font that was used, or the program that was used to put words on paper in newspapers. We used to take stories off the wire and put it on the newspaper. I used to be a sports writer 20 years ago. I'm not accidentally getting right. I'm not doing this because I'm some average dude walking down the street. I've been at this for over 2 decades. I saw a guy write, "Ram, Rico just talks. He just got lucky. He's a new guy who just got lucky." Bro, we got over 400 fights under our belts, over 400 football games. Check the results. I don't sweat a damn thing. These rankings are going to be right. They're right every week, and I'm more accurate than any of these fucking nerds talking in the media and any of those biased college football coaches who do the coaches poll. No. Be impartial. Assess results. This is what you get. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.